Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast.
This is a show dedicated to helping you become a better organist.
We're your hosts, Vidas
And Usha Motuzaitė Pinkevičienė.
We have over 25 years of experience of playing the organ.
And we've been teaching thousands of organists online from 89 countries since 2011.
So now let's jump in and get started with the podcast for today.
We hope you'll enjoy it.
Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Usha.
Let's start episode 589 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. This question was sent by Ruth, and she writes, I'm in the process of memorizing a piece based upon what I'm learning in this course. I'm also trying to keep in touch with members of my church because we did not meet last week. Ruth is our total organist student and probably she is writing about the challenges that she's facing during a quarantine. First of all, let's talk about the process of memorizing the piece. What method do you use, Osha?
Well, now I'm at such a stage of my age and life that I don't have to memorize music.
It comes naturally
anymore.
to you.
Yes, it comes naturally to me, but I don't have to perform from memory, which is a big relief because, to be honest, the memorization and playing from memory was always, the weakest part of my entire musical career. And I still have these nightmares that I come, to my piano exam, sit near the instrument, and I'm ready to play, and when I realize that I forgot everything, absolutely everything. And I still have time at times with, nightmare. And I realized that never in my life I have started to memorize a piece on time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always memorizing things in a hurry, and I was never really well prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I did all these big exams, and all these big programs, how I put them in my head somehow.
Have you used the press method?
No, because nobody taught me any kind of methods. When I was at school, I was just, said that I have to memorize, I would say, small episodes, like 2 measures at a time, and put them all together. And when I need to learn a few spots, that I would be able to start and to play from them if something would happen, in the middle of my performance.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I also was advised, if I make a mistake, that I would not go back, but I would go forward.
Oh, jump to the next.
Yes, because,
spot.
if you repeat from that previous spot, you might make a mistake in the same spot again. That's how it works, because muscles have their own memory.
Yeah, it's funny because when you make a mistake, if you try to repeat it, your fingers will play the same thing unless you consciously know what you were doing wrong.
Yes, and while playing organ, I think that memorization is basically all the organists. I think we memorize their music naturally while working on it. But during recitals, it's probably not the best thing to play from memory, at least not if you don't have, the organ with a piston setting.
Mm-hmm. Sequencer.
Yeah, sequencer, because in most cases in Europe you have to have assistants to help you to change your registration during your performance. And that way, let's say at St. John's Church, when we played, for example, the symphonic poem by Chilonis, we had even 2 assistants from both sides of the organ. That way, if we would have to to play it from memory, we would have to give the music to our assistants, and we would have to have 2 music stands. And it would be really uncomfortable and, you know, unnecessary. So it's better to have one score in front of, you know, organist, and that way, you know, 2 or, you know, 4 people, as in our case, can use it at one time.
Correct. But of course, newer organs, concert organs, usually have combination actions and sequencers nowadays, even in Europe.
Yes, but you know, unless you have really good, great memory and, you know, phenomenal memory, if you are playing all your pieces from memory, I think it narrows down your repertoire list.
Because it requires you to spend considerable amount of time just to memorizing it.
And then you are just thinking if it's no worth or not.
Well,
worth it.
yes, imagine we're sitting this in our living room during the quarantine, and every day we try to record something and put it on YouTube. Most of the days we upload and share with our listeners. If we had to, you know, memorize each piece, I don't know, maybe we could do only 1 video per week.
Probably, yes.
Now we can do 1 every day, most of the time. Sometimes the piece is too difficult though, but yeah, when you have great sight reading skills, then it takes much less time to prepare, especially if you don't memorize it. So, Osha, you don't advise for Ruth to memorize the piece, or you do?
Well, I don't know what is her goal, you know, in memorizing it.
Maybe she is taking our memorization course. That's why she's doing it. I don't know.
I think it's anyway, you know, for each musician is, you know, is beneficial to memorize a piece once in a while. I think it's good for your brain. But I wouldn't, you know, memorize every piece that I'm learning, definitely.
You know, and memorization is like sometimes it's a nice substitute to improvisation. When I was not improvising, I was sometimes memorizing a piece, like a real composition, and I would memorize it and then play it really fluently, and I would imagine that I'm improvising this piece, you know, even though it's
Funny.
not mine.
That's funny. Well, and you know, it's very difficult to say because some music, some pieces of music is really easy to memorize, but some are really hard. I remember, you know, when I memorized, you know, pieces, piano pieces, it was called Perpetuum mobile by French composer. What was his name?
Perpetuum mobile, you think it's French? I thought it was by Weber.
No. It wasn't Weber. It was French composer. You know that guy that wrote that big piece for organ and orchestra?
Perpetuum
We are really getting old.
mobile.
But it's hard to remember all the repertoire that we have done in the past.
Yeah. It's hard to find it.
I think it's Poulenc.
Poulenc, yes.
Yes, I think it's Poulenc, yes.
Let's double check. I'm googling it now. Poulenc. Yes, on the piano, right?
Yes.
I don't remember it.
But yes, I played it and I memorized it, and basically this was the easiest piece to memorize for me from the entire repertoire, because it was so well constructed and so easy form, and no very easy structure, and it was really easy to memorize.
You have a great memory, Osha. I don't remember anything about that.
Well, but it was very hard for me to remember, the name of a composer, but I did it finally.
Perpetuum mobile, or Trois Mouvements Perpetuels, a 1918 piano composition by Francis Poulenc. Huh. It's from 1918.
So
for
this
piano.
was the easiest piece for me to memorize out of my entire repertoire.
3 movements, right?
Yes, but the hardest was actually when I tried to memorize a Messiaen, and I did one of a piece from his bird catalogs. Alain de Lulu, I think it was. Oh, that gave me a really hard time. It was a good hygiene for my brain.
I wonder how to spell this bird in French. Or this is in Latin, maybe.
No, that's French, I think.
French, right? Let's see. I will double check it later. So, why was it so hard for you to memorize Messiaen?
Well, because, he used the whole range of a keyboard, and there were big jams and difficult rhythms. And sort of, it was hard for me to grasp the form of this piece as well. It's not like classical, piece, not like sonata where you have this exposition, with themes and then development of the themes and then recapitulation at the end, and it's really hard when it's no common tonal structure too.
You have to get his compositional technique really
And
well.
actually, I know his compositional techniques fairly well by now, but I don't think it helps me to memorize his music.
From the middle period, from 1930s, 40s, but not from 1950s
Yes, and
and 60s.
this is really his late work, so.
Plus, bird calls, they are very spontaneous.
True,
You
yeah.
don't really, you can't really systematize those into modes and Hindu ragas and talas and those influences, or Gregorian chant modes or Greek rhythms in bird
Actually,
songs.
when I was learning this piece from the bird catalog, I still had a parrot, and she would just go crazy while hearing, me playing Messiaen.
Somehow she would recognize it.
That's right.
She would, or he, it was a boy, he would think that you would be teasing him, right?
I think so, yes, because he would really get frustrated.
I once we had an experiment and recorded his song and played him back, and he went crazy.
Poor bird.
Poor bird. Yeah, I wonder if he understood what's happening.
Probably not.
He would love to sit and look at the mirror for hours.
He would be like bipolar.
Bipolar?
Yes, bipolar, because one day he would, look very gently at that mirror and, try to touch it gently, but during the other day he would just go mad and would try to hit it, and
Yeah, wonderful pet. So guys, thanks for sending us your questions. Please apply our tips in your practice. They really help. They really work. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This podcast is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online.
It has hundreds of courses, coaching, and practice materials for every area of organ playing. Thousands of instructional videos and PDFs. You will not find more value anywhere else online.
Total Organist helps you to master any piece, perfect your technique, develop your sight reading skills, and improvise or compose your own music, and much, much more.
Sign up and begin your training today at organduo.lt and click on Total Organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
If you like our organ music, you can also support us on Patreon and get free CDs.
Find out more at patreon.com/secrets of organ playing.